This is the workshop of Dale Clark, and he's been giving us all these dream pods, and they help people have a roof over their head, have a safe place to store their items, and some of basically the worst conditions and symptoms of houselessness is that security. So we give them that in order for them to have that stepping step of getting their lives back together.
And is this Dale?
Nope. This is Gerhardt.
Gerhardt?
It is. He is one of the main makers. He's one of the constructors. He is a jack of all trades. A lot of the things you see around here he's made himself. We're actually all volunteers.
Okay, awesome.
So I do the building with the Dream Center, which is the village part of Safe Park. So you can stay in Safe Park, and then 3 days, if you're a male, you can go to the Dream Center. However, because of liabilities, you can't come to the Dream Center if you're a woman or if you're a couple.
So what does a homeless woman do?
A homeless woman, that's why we have Safe Park. And that's why we have the pods, and we have people that are on guard, and we have feeding there, and so does the church where the where the village is. And they're pretty close to each other, so you can go back and forth.
So the village is kind of a village of these little buildings?
Very much so. Here's a really large one. We can't take that because it's a little too heavy. The ones that we have, how we were able to get around the code is that they are temporary structures and they're small enough that they don't have to meet building code, but we also don't, because of that, we also don't put wires in them or running water. But the church provides that. And there are ways, there's battery powered lights, there's appropriate technology, so there's ways around it, like having an igloo full of water catchment type of stuff. That's not plumbing, but you still have your water. That's Gerhardt's. He's a professional carpenter, so he built all of that. Ours are not as nice as this, but we would love for them to be as nice as this.
So are you down here just educating yourselves? And
we're down here collecting more dream pods, because they make one a day now, because we have the relationship where they know we're using them and putting them on the street, and it was actually Dale's idea to put them on the sidewalk. So now we have what the judge, when they were talking about Safe Park and making a delineation between the park and our protest area, the federal judge said you need signs. And so what we did is we made signs that people could live in at the same time. And surprisingly, John McLean can talk to you more about this. It's actually easier to petition for free speech than it is to petition for the right to live on the sidewalk. So that's why they're a protest zone, is because it makes it easier for them to stay and to help people in that area.
Is this an outgrowth of like Occupy?
It is, and it's an outgrowth of Occupy.
These are the stackable ones. There's all different ones that are being built.
Oh, so you can actually stack them up and have a little like...
Yeah, there's ones with wheels, there's stackable ones, family size ones, all types of different designs.
Meet Dale, he's amazing. He's been an artist for a good 60 years. He was friends with like Humphrey Bogart and Betty White and all these other people. He's 94, 92, 91. He's 91. Generally you see people on the street and they've got all their stuff and they have to use garbage bags because they don't have suitcases and all this, so they've got all their stuff everywhere. And you know, everyone has stuff. You need pots and pans, you need layers of clothing, you need a tarp, you need all this stuff, a lot of camping stuff. You're outside all the time. And this pod gives them a very neat, organized space to put it. And the public doesn't have to see it and everyone's happy because then it's safe for them too.
And you can be inside at night.
Yep.
Shelter.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna...
No one can mess with you. No one can kick you. People kick homeless people to wake them up and to move them and all sorts of things. Hate crime. Very high hate crime.
There's a genius right there.
Yeah, it looks like this is the original hole, but it's screwed up in the thing today, isn't it? We get one.
That's John McLean, the man that started Safe Park.
So the idea came from Occupy Tucson?
Came from, I want to think, Occupy Public Land, which was a working group of Occupy Tucson at one time. And the concept behind it was just originally to decriminalize homelessness. That was kind of our original mission. So in doing that, we try to find public places where people can exist 24 hours a day. And that's what Safe Park is today.
And how many like dwellings are there?
We
or
have
does
7
it
pods,
shift?
dream pods there now. And then a table that actually someone ended up using last night to get out of the rain. So
Where is it?
on Church and Congress, right in the middle of downtown Tucson. During the summer, we weren't as visible. Were you there? Remember when the park was taped off? So the only thing we had access to was the sidewalk. And during the day in the summer, you don't want to hang out on the sidewalk all day. So during the day, it seemed like we weren't there at all. But then night would come, and there'd be about 40 or 50 people sleeping on the sidewalk. But now with the boxes, we're able to make sure that doesn't happen again. Make sure that we're visible always. And they can't use the trick of cutting off the resources to the protests so that way it seems like we're not visible.
And so you're allowed to be there because you're still conducting a protest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they were to kick you out, they'd be violating your free speech rights.
Yeah, they would. Well, at this point, they'd be violating a preliminary injunction against harassment from the federal court, which the court said that they can't say that we can only have a bedroll, a backpack, and a beverage on the sidewalk when we're practicing First Amendment activity. We can have whatever property we need as long as we leave 5 feet of pathway.
This is important stuff you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's means a lot to me for sure. Because definitely with the Occupy, I learned that the same tactics they were using to criminalize homelessness is the same tactics they use to get rid of us. So one way or the other, whether we want to redress our grievances with the government and stay put until those grievances are addressed, or we're looking at the condition that is homelessness, something had to be changed. And it was either turn my back on it and go back to what I was doing before, or honestly, wholeheartedly take up the mission of decriminalizing homelessness and not quitting until it's done.
Well, should we go see if Dale's still awake?
Yeah, you should definitely see if he's
I'm
awake.
excited.
All right.
Sun goes down, he goes to sleep. So.
Well, okay. Well, let's just see.
So then, Gerhardt will show you all kinds of
Can I get a photo of you really quick?
places that your friends can stay overnight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we know. We've been here before.
We got lots of food, canned food and stuff in the fridge.
Mm-hmm. We brought food. We also brought, this is a friend of Michelle. What was your name again?
Allison.
Allison has a camera. Are you okay to be on camera? It's up to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I come in with my camera?
She's documenting the dream pods. And I wanted you to
Hi.
tell her the story of India.
Hand me that book.
Your favorite ex-wife.
Yeah. This is my favorite ex-wife. And
I've seen this somewhere.
this is in India.
Did she make that?
No, China. And when we met, my daughter introduced me to her and said she is an artist. And I said, that's wonderful. And we got married on the third date.
No kidding.
Yeah. And she had her artwork in Canada. And I thought she probably did, beautiful little watercolors and sunsets and flowers. And little did I know that she was twice the artist that I was.
How many wives have you had?
2.
Okay.
But, sweet ladies, let's talk about something else.
You know what? I'm going to let you go. I'm going to take off, but I'm really happy that you let me film you and to meet you. And then can I give you a hug?
Don't look.
It was nice meeting you. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you for coming out.